Sorry, this is where I meant to be. Okay, so we do have a warm-up. Okay. We're still missing a bunch of people, but let me get started.
Mr. Swift,
Yes.
what's the decision maker app user interface?
Just your user interface.
Where is that in code.org or the?
Yeah. It's just, you know, unit 4, lesson 13, circle 2.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Okay. Somebody's just noting that they possibly submitted their activity guide already. I'm not quite sure how, since we're not done with it, but I did put in a new submit that is the proper submit showing that it's 27 points. And ideally that this is due on the 20th. What that means is that it will be in the next marking period. This app will not be influencing your grade for this quarter, okay? It makes my life easier. Somebody asking, this is a relatively long-term project. You have till the 20th to do it. All right, so let's go through. We have a warm-up in Canvas. We'll go over that. We are going to be in U4L13, the Decision Maker app. Do is the Decision Maker app user interface. What that is, that's, you know, your programming on your interface, right? Your buttons, your background, all that good stuff. The objective or goal is to build out your Decision Maker app and debug your code. Look, we have a fresh one. There's Patrick. Hi, Patrick. We're just going over the agenda. So what is due is your Decision Maker app user interface. You do not need to turn anything in. I will be able to see it in your code.org. If for some reason you are working in App Lab and I cannot see your app in code.org, please send me the link to your app, all right? Or put that in your activity guide or something. Look, there's Ethan. Okay. So what our objective or goal today is going to be to build out your Decision Maker app and debug your code. You will be able to write functional web applications using variables, conditionals, and functions. Debug code, identify opportunities to reduce repeated code within a program. All right, so that's what we're going to be up to. We are basically going to spend the day in breakout rooms just working on our app. First off, I have to stop sharing so we can go over the warm-up because it shows the answers when I'm here. Look, there's Kyle. Welcome, Kyle. We're just going over the warm-up. If you want to take a look and get in there. Oh, help. I think I'm actually out. Oh, perfect. I'm not sharing. Thank the Lord. Okay, question 1 is a little tricky because somebody's asking, can they finish the project whenever they want, or do you have to follow along with class? You can always finish your projects, turn them in early. If that's, you know, your level of coding. I can also try and find other things to work on if that's a situation for you that you feel that your skills aren't being pushed enough or you'd like to do more work. We are a 9th through 12th grade class, so the idea that different people are going to be at very different skill levels is something that I want to accommodate. So I want to make sure that everyone is feeling they have enough work to do and that it is, challenging, and that they're feeling engaged. All right. Uh, so question 1 is multiple choice. What is the output to the console log after the following code segment is executed? I'm not going to describe it because it's a little tricky, but what's tricky with this is that it's in text mode. It's not in block mode. Block mode is a lot easier to sort of evaluate what is going on, particularly because this is dealing with functions. Does someone want to volunteer to try and tackle this one? Or I can use my spinner of death. Sounds like the spinner. All right, my friend Eric Chen. What is the output to the console after the following code segment is executed? Could you figure that out, Eric? Or just give me an idea. This is tricky, so it's not a problem if you get it wrong. With all the warm-ups, just do them and I will give you full credit. Eric, are you out there? All right, I'm guessing his mic might not be working. How about Nikolai Forrest? Nikolai, can you give me your thought of what is going to be output by the console log after the following code is executed?
I said 9 because it's 5 plus 4.
Okay, that's a thought. Does anybody else have an opinion on this? Oh, look, we have another 9. Okay, I like giving you guys hints about taking multiple choice tests. 9 seems like what it should be giving you if this was straightforward. Typically, they are not giving you straightforward questions. So you might want to double check if the answer you're coming up with seems to be the obvious answer. There's an issue here. Nikolai, can you tell me what that first line is doing, the 5 more?
I guess it's trying to name a variable 5 more. I mean,
No, look down below it. What's happening on the line below it?
function 5 more.
Function space 5 more. What's happening when you have that notation? Just like var space 5 more.
It doesn't process the function name.
No, you're declaring the function. This would be your function block here. So you would have the function block, you're creating the function 5 more by writing function space 5 more. Inside that function, what is going to run is var x equals 5 and var y equals x. And then you're going to console log y. So what's happening inside that function that should not be happening? It's our common mistake that we keep harping on.
The console log?
No.
Yeah.
What's above the console log? Read that line for me.
Var y equals x plus
Right.
4.
What should not be happening inside a function or an on event? What's the problem that var is in there?
Oh, we haven't named the variable beforehand. We just named it in the function.
Well, what are you doing? Once you're using the word var, what are you doing?
Y equals x plus 4.
No, but just the idea, when I write var x, var space x, what does that do?
Well, that's creating a variable.
Right. What's the problem of creating a variable inside a function or an on event?
You can't do that. You need to name
But
it.
it's the local variable thing. That's all it is. So in theory, the answer is error, that it should not be able to function because these are local variables created inside a function. So functions work the same way as on events in terms of do not create local variables inside there. Evaluate your variable, that's fine. You know, it should just be x equals 5, and it should be var x and var y above 5 more, right? We declare our variables up top. We declare our functions at the bottom of a program. All right, great work. Thank you so much for working through that with me. This is tricky, and everybody makes local variables. It seems just very human to end up typing var by mistake in one of those blocks. All right, so next is fabulous question 2. It is multiple answers. So what can I change about a design element such as a button using the set property function? Pick all that apply. Does somebody want to volunteer for this? Or we can pick someone. Mwah.
I'll volunteer.
You want to do it?
Yeah. There were like 5 answers. It's everything but the element ID itself.
Correct. Perfect. So again, when you're doing multiple choice, see, like one of the big problems creating these questions for me is trying to not show something that is obviously not the right answer. But when you think about it, changing width, height, color, font, those do not seem to be the same grouping as the element ID, right? So just seeing that those are all related terms might make you think those are all the things that belong and the element ID is what's wrong. Okay, let me get back to sharing and let's knock this out, and I will create our breakout rooms. I apologize, I could not do pre-assigned breakout rooms, so I need to create them. All right, what we are doing is we are going to build the decision maker app. So everything is in lesson 13, level 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says you need to progress through this, but I'm not sure you really do. Just take a look. So while I'm making the breakout rooms, just start working on your app. The steps for today are you're going to create your design mode. Ideally, you'll be done with that and I can check it. Create the variables, create the function, and add on events. Just a hint, the function is what is going to have all your if-else statements, etc. in it. That is where the decision-making process is happening. And then you're just going to be setting your screen when you call the function, all right? Debugging, the process of finding and fixing problems in code. What do you expect it to do? What does it actually do? Does it always happen? That always happen is a little tricky these days. I've had stuff that I've been reviewing that I think was not acting correctly because of the internet, not because the code was wrong. So always be careful. Try and refresh if you are seeing something weird and wonky. All right? Weird things should not be happening. Typically, that's a sign that you should reboot. Nobody likes rebooting because it takes time. Hunt for bugs. Are there warnings or errors? When you get the little yellow triangle or the red square, hover your mouse over it and it will tell you what the error is. Sometimes it will not tell you exactly what the error is, but the result of the error. So I can't think of the situation, but it was funny. It was saying like something was wrong and it wasn't that that was wrong. It was what generated that was not working. So keep your eyes open. Remember, debugging is all about creating a sort of search pattern in your eyes for the things that can be wrong in code. Miscapitalization, starting, your function or your variable with a capital letter, misplaced semicolon. Okay, try solutions. Make a small change. Don't go for big change. Just try a small one to begin with. See if it works. Document as you go. What did you learn? What strategies did you use? What questions do you have? Test the decision maker app. Each app is tested by at least 2 other students or family members. No dogs. Apparently cats are okay. Use the share feature in code.org to gather feedback from users. So if you don't get feedback from the people in class today, ask your parents, ask your brother or sister, ask a friend. You can email it to them with that share feature. You can get a link to your app so they can try it out. For example, the creator of the app may notice that the user has difficulty figuring out which button to click on the app to make it run. The creator notes this down in the planning guide. Let me just make sure I'm not going to do that right now. So I just wanted to say, when I was working with people yesterday, I did not get as many people coming in as I was hoping, but one of the issues that we identified that he'd forgotten was the idea for this app, you will need 1 number and 1 string, okay? As he was creating how he was going to get his information, instead of asking for a temperature like 78, he was going to say cool, warm, and hot were like his 3 things. But the problem was all his variables were going to be words. They were all going to be strings. So I said, you can't do that. You have to have a number and a string in this variable. So we figured out that he would use, a number for the temperature and then create a cutoff so that below 65 is cool, from 65 to 80 is warm, and 80 and above is hot. Let me read through the rubric. This is everything you need in your app. You need, the planning guide is fully completed. Written response 1, response accurately describes the purpose, functionality, inputs, and outputs of the app. Written response 2, I believe these are the reflections. Response clearly describes an idea or recommendation provided by a partner, peer, and how it improved their app. The user interface. User interface is easy to navigate, and it's clear how the app is designed to be used. All text is readable. Code warnings and error messages. No warnings or error messages appear when the app is run. Code variables. At least 1 number and 1 string are each stored in a variable and used to make a decision. Code function. A function is used to update the screen. Function is called at least 2 times in the program. Code conditional. A conditional is used inside the function to make a decision based on the information stored in the variables. The conditional correctly uses a logical operator and, or not in the Boolean expression. The decision is displayed in the screen. There are at least 3 different responses that could be displayed. The last is the update screen function has a comment which clearly explains its purpose and functionality. That is how I grade your apps. I just go down that list and just go tick, tick, up, missing that, -1. That's it. Okay, this is your reflection question, all right? These, in theory, are the same questions you will be asked in the AP, so try your best to be as accurate as you can. Describe the overall purpose of the program. Describe the functionality of your app. How does it work? Describe the inputs and outputs of your app, approximately 150 words. I get a lot of questions. Does it need to be 150 words? Can it be 148? This is not like your make a 10-word description of the article. 150 is just an approximation. A paragraph or 2, a half a page. I do not need 2 pages of in-depth description of the inputs and outputs of your app. Make it as clear and succinct as you can. Extra words do not give you extra points, but you do need to describe it thoroughly. So one thing people miss, describe the overall purpose of the program is a very simple statement. Look, it's Harold. Hang on. So typically it's to entertain. you know, it's a game to entertain you and you might learn about basketball. This is an app, the one I worked on was one to help you choose your pants. That's what it does. It's simple. You do not need to write a whole paragraph there. This project was created, so question 2, this project was created using a development process that required you to incorporate the ideas of your partner and feedback from your classmates. Provide a written response that describes one part of your app that was improved through input from either your partner or feedback you received from classmates. Include who specifically provided the idea or recommendation, what their idea or recommendation was, the specific change you had to your app's user interface or functionality in response to the recommendation, how you believe this change improved your program. So my friend Jimmy Nelson thought that my app was not colorful enough and I needed a brighter background. My friend Jimmy thought that my buttons needed a picture. Jane told me that I need sounds when you hit the button. That's more engaging. Those are all things you could be explaining. My example with the person on Wednesday, I suggested that he use a number instead of a word for the temperature, and that worked. And that's what he did, okay? That's it. All right, it's gonna take me a minute to create the breakout rooms, but just start your work and I will get us in our rooms as soon as possible. We will be done at 2:40. Just let me know if you have questions. I'll be visiting. I am going to turn on, hang on, the screen sharing so that you have screen sharing in your rooms. It actually is on. So you can share in your rooms. And I'd love for you to talk to each other if you run into trouble, all right? Let me get these rooms up and I will be right with you. Is my, no, I don't need you. Oh, maybe I did. Come on. Why am I not seeing what I want? There's what I need. Oh, let's get rid of this. No, that is not what I want. It is. Come on. There. Okay, is anyone have questions, problems, issues? Otherwise, I'll just be quiet and make these rooms and get us in as quick as we can. Okay, manually. I need P4. That's not one. Oh, come on. Sorry, it's fighting me. All right. Okay, let's get back into our breakout rooms. We are making progress. Where is everyone? I'm almost there. Sorry about this. I updated my Zoom and it got rid of my ability to pre-assign. Okay, here we go. Julie, Noah, can I help you? Nicole, Ethan?
What's the interface that you're supposed to
What's that?
What's the interface that you said you're going to check? Is
What do
that
you
like
mean?
the screens? You said the app interface is due. Is that
Yes,
the
user
screen?
interface. Yeah, exactly. It's just your buttons and your, your colors and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ethan, can I help you? You need to go into your room so you can talk to people in there and get their help too. Ethan? Can I help you? Ethan? Ethan, can I help you? Ethan. Hello. Cuckoo. Christine, is there anything I can help you with? Is there a reason you're not in your breakout room? Ethan. Oh, hang on. Blah, blah. Fuck. There's Ethan. Ooh. Crazy. Okay, shoot, sorry. Controls go. Okay, class is basically over. Anybody have questions, issues you wanted to talk about? Other than that, you are free to go. This app is going to be due on the 20th, so you have some time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Oh, something to remember. Next week is MLK Day, so it's a BAAB week. We
Thank
don't
you.
have class till next Wednesday.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye. Stop sharing. Noah, Harold?
Oh, Mr. Swift.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say. I was exiting code.org. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you, Noah. What's up, Julie?
Could you help me look at my code? I turned it in early, but I just want to make sure that I fulfilled one of the requirements on the rubric. So I'll send you my.
Okay, so, Julie,
your-
also know you can resubmit these apps ad nauseum. You can resubmit these apps until they're perfect. The fact that you have turned it in is not a problem if you want to go in and fix it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I did earlier today during class. I just resubmitted it a few times because I found like smaller stuff in there.
It's
Yeah.
the nature of the beast. Okay, so hang on. So let me. So if I am not sure why that is there, let me. Come on, where's my share button? Zoom is fighting me. Hang on. Oh. Oh, there. Okay, so share screen. All right. So do you want me to run it? What would you like me to do?
To view code.
All right. All right.
Yes, I think. Oh, one of the things on the rubric. It was like was it?
Now,
Oh yeah, code function.
okay. Oh. You're using your function to create a sound effect?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do. Because I don't think I could like use it anywhere else because a lot of my code actually does not repeat like at all.
So your screen never gets updated, even though you're evaluating ticket prices?
Oh, it just gets updated like every time you press the go button, it'll just like spit out a different input if you like put in different stuff at the top.
Okay. Let me take a look at it and play with it.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have a function, you call it twice. I don't think that's a problem, right?
Mhm.
I mean, do you want to, hang on, let me see. I hate to say I don't think I have the rubric here. Let me. I'm not worried. I mean, as far as I know, you've got multiple variables. Does it have 3 or more screens that it's going to display?
Oh, this is the only screen.
Well, it needs to have 3 different messages it's going to give you, right?
Yeah, I have 6 different messages that you can.
Okay, that's totally cool. Far as I can tell, I think you're in great shape. Literally, Julie, I mean, all I do is read down that left column that I read during class.
Mhm.
And as far as I can tell, I mean, you haven't done your reflection yet. Hopefully something was updated by someone. Seems like, you've got your variables, are you evaluating, you're using a operator, your ticket price is a number, you're using a number and a string. As usual, I think you've got it.
Okay. Thank
What
you.
I was saying was tricky about this is, as I'm sure you've sort of seen, the idea of that most significant number doesn't really apply to this app. Did you get that feeling, or were you, because we were evaluating ticket prices, did it matter for you in here?
I don't think it did, no.
It seems like just that like you have it, that this app, each sort of the three different sections of it sort of are like three separate little apps that sort of work together.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That like you've got, your on events, and then you've got your function. Yeah, as far as I know, again, I don't think that it's exactly the way I had envisioned it, but isn't that the fun of coding?
Yeah.
I think you nailed it. Let me just take a look and I'll work on it. But I think that's what is so interesting about coding, is the idea that there are 4 or 5, much less this where we're creating them. There's a million different ways you could do it and still attain the same result. So I think this is great. The coding looks really clean. I mean, that's what was bothering me with the codes that we were getting for the ticket maker,
Mhm.
was the idea that people were dividing a variable by 2, which no one has ever heard of, and that the code was so beautifully simple. It's the idea that it needed to be, not Saturday or Sunday and less than or equal to 18, all evaluates to $5. And if you valuated your variable price at $10 to begin with, you didn't have to do anything more. And that just seemed a little elegant for 50% of the class to come up with.
Mhm.
So this is gorgeous. And thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication. And always, if you have a question about a grade or something that seems weird, just let me know, because like I say, I have 170 students. I can't fine tune everyone's grade. I will make sure that everything seems appropriate to me, but you certainly know much better than I do what is good and bad. And sometimes weird things aren't linking and it's hard for me to tell. So just let me know, and that really helps me to identify any problem places, because your ability to analyze your grade is much greater than my ability, because I'm just looking at it and going, yeah, I think that's right, but you live it. And so most of my students are pretty on top of what the heck their grade should be.
Yeah, I see.
All right, my
Thank you very
friend.
much.
Have a good one.
You too.